Today on Good Morning Suncoast, a sigh of relief in Tampa after police arrest a suspect in the string of killings in Seminole Heights. Manatee County takes another step forward toward buying the premier sports complex in Lakewood Ranch. We'll tell you how they'd pay for it. And a plan to build a hotel near the convention center in Bradenton has been dropped, at least for now. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, 5 o'clock on this Wednesday morning, 29th day of the month. Glad you're awake already. I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi joins us now. And John, same as yesterday, probably?
Well, pretty much, although I think there'll be a little bit more humidity around today, and I think you'll notice that as we head into the afternoon. It's going to be a little more on the muggy side today, and probably tomorrow as well, before we start to kind of trim back that humidity and maybe reduce our temperatures just a little bit in time for the weekend. That's the plan. Right now, a little bit of fair weather cloudiness around. Not much more than that, though. No rainfall anywhere to mar our morning commute. Same cannot be said for the other coast, where there are some rain showers in progress, particularly even thunderstorm activity around the Miami area. If you're traveling this morning, heading to the south and to the other coast, you're probably going to get wet. A daytime high tops out in the low 80s once again today, well above average for this time of year. And as I mentioned, dry today. As far as the forecast goes for the next several days, though, I think you're going to like it. We'll talk about that coming up in a few, right?
All right, good tease. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now in Manatee County. All clear, not a single blip on the roads. Farther south, we'll check into Sarasota County. We do see a little issue there on 41 southbound as you head toward University, as you pass New College there on the right-hand side. Otherwise, all clear. South County, one little thing there, 41 northbound as you head toward Venice. 5:02 now on your Wednesday morning. Our top story, police in Tampa have made an arrest and are charging a Howell Donaldson in connection with the 4 murders in the city's Seminole Heights area. Investigators say a tip from one of Donaldson's co-workers led to his arrest at a Tampa McDonald's. Investigators believe Donaldson is the same man spotted on multiple cameras near the crime scenes. All 4 victims were shot at random at night or in the early morning while walking alone. Police received more than 5,000 tips for the 51-day investigation. The mayor, Bob Buckhorn, says justice will be served. An issue at a popular park in Manatee County has left some people concerned. Our Rick Adams has the story.
Well, for folks who live around here, they say for the time being they've lost their beautiful lake. It's been taken over by something they're calling water lettuce. This is the lake at Conservatory Park in Manatee County. As you can see, it's looking very green. It's something that has Frank Decker and his wife extremely concerned. Their home is near the lake.
The situation here, as you can see, is so dire now that we know the fish are going to die unless something's done. And all the residents around here are upset.
Decker says the water lettuce has grown rapidly over the last month, consuming about 90% of the lake.
It's very upsetting. You know, when I'm used to coming back here and looking at a beautiful lake, you know, and now I'm looking at this. It looks like a football field instead of a lake.
Water lettuce, which is also known as pistilla, is an aquatic plant that's considered to be an invasive species, especially in freshwater locations. Edward Justick is someone who visits Conservatory Park many times a week with his wife.
The last few weeks, it just keeps growing and growing. Yeah, we didn't know what it was, and just out of curiosity, we're watching how it's growing. It's very invasive, and we're wondering what's going to happen to the little lake here.
For folks who live around the park or just visit, they're hopeful the county will take care of this very soon. Residents are being asked to call the Manatee County Action Center to voice their concerns. And we did reach out to the Manatee County Parks Department, but no one was available to comment on this. Reporting from Conservatory Park in Manatee County, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Other news now, efforts to resolve Sarasota County's homeless issue continues to move forward. The sheriff, Tom Knight, gave commissioners the financial details of what it would cost his department to implement a quality of life ordinance. Earlier this month, commissioners approved the ordinance, which made it illegal to camp and store property on public land like parks. According to the plan, the sheriff's office will have to hire several new employees who will then need additional training.
This is an operation that the board is going to ask me to perform. It'll cost over $614,000 to start, and that'll push us to over $10 million a year of services that we provide on the behalf of the Board of County Commissioners. So it is concerning about how much it's building into the budget and how much ad valorem taxes are going to take to continue to fuel up that budget.
County commissioners will vote on the sheriff's request in the coming weeks. Another big issue in Sarasota County is whether to build a new jail or reduce the number of inmates. Now, the sheriff says the jail is filling with drug addicts. Those inmates serve an average of 60 days compared to misdemeanor suspects who serve an average of 21 days. The sheriff estimates that building a new jail would cost taxpayers $80 million. He supports the idea of creating diversionary recovery programs for addicts instead.
I believe in rehabilitation. I believe in diversion. I believe in making people better. And some of the incarcerations that we see now with smart justice is that the old philosophy of locking them up until they behave doesn't work with addiction. So can we do something better with addiction to give people services to make them better people, get them back out in society?
Well, commissioners seem to agree, or at least open to the idea of discussing recovery programs further. The annual Downtown Sarasota Holiday Parade is this Saturday at 7 p.m. The parade will begin at Main and 301. It'll end at Main and Gulfstream in front of Marina Jack. There'll be several vehicle tow-away zones and street closures, so be aware of this. 7 a.m. Saturday until 12:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Main will be closed from 301 all the way to 41. Then from noon Saturday until 12:30 a.m., Fletcher Avenue will be closed from Main Street to Fruitfield Road, and from 2:30 p.m. Saturday until 12:30 a.m. Sunday, Lemon Avenue will be closed from First Street to Main Street. You can find a full list of closures on our website at mysuncoast.com. A local nonprofit is giving back while helping those in need. Goodwill Manitoba is encouraging shoppers to buy their holiday sweaters secondhand and then decorate their purchases. They're calling it their Ugly Christmas Sweater Challenge. Once you decorate your sweater, you're asked to post a picture wearing it on the Goodwill Minnesota Facebook page, or also send it to us at ABC7. We'd love to see your creations. Now, despite Hurricane Irma coming through in September, Manatee and Sarasota counties are reporting strong real estate sales. A slump in home buying was expected in October due to the hurricane in September, but numbers actually showed a 3% increase in single-family home sales. Realtors noted that Irma's September landfall actually helps, and September is already the slowest month for real estate sales of the year, September. While home sales were up, condo sales were down 10%. Don't blame Irma, though. The decline comes from a lack of condos up for sale. The effects of Irma are causing the state's agriculture secretary to ask Congress for more money. Florida agriculture suffered a more than $2.5 billion hit during the hurricane. Secretary Adam Putnam says disaster assistance to help was left out of the last aid package to Congress. Putnam says area Congressman Tom Rooney is asking the USDA to provide $1.5 billion to cover the crop losses that farmers suffered during Hurricane Irma. An anti-bullying measure in Tallahassee is causing controversy among some Florida parents. According to the House bill, if your child has been bullied, you can get a voucher to ensure the student can transfer to a private school. Well, some parents point out that the bully would be able to stay at the current school and remain unpunished and torment others. Parents also argue that the measure is punishing the victim by having to uproot their lives, and note the cost of the bill, which is also about $30 million a year. The vote is currently sitting, or the bill is sitting in an appropriations subcommittee. The legislative session begins again in January. Other news now, there's a new program to help college graduates find jobs. It's called the Launch My Career Florida Project. It uses data from various sources to create a single place to show students and parents what to expect regarding wages, potential, and growth or decline in a given job field.
There are more than 200,000 jobs available every single month. What we need to do is connect the people to the opportunities, not just for today, but well into the future.
The Launch My Career Florida website and app were launched this past fall. Manatee County is inching closer now to buying the premier sports complex in Lakewood Ranch. Commissioners and tourism officials say the purchase of the 127-acre campus is in the best interest for the county and its taxpayers.
Is an economic driver for really the state of Florida. So this gives us an opportunity to continue to drive up to $18 million of new dollars into our county on a year-round basis.
Tourist taxes could help pay for the $5 million purchase. The topic will be reconsidered again before commissioners talk on December 7th. Plans for a Sheraton hotel at the Bradenton Convention Center were scrapped yesterday. Commissioners voted to end a development agreement for a 6-story hotel next to the convention center. The project hit a setback several months ago, including when the developers failed to acquire nearly 13 acres of land next to the convention center. Convention center officials are confident another developer for a hotel will come forward in the near future. Later on this morning, the Pines of Sarasota will host its popular Wit and Wisdom Luncheon. The 8th annual benefits the Pines of Sarasota. It takes place at Michael's on East, 11:30 a.m. This year's panel includes Nate Jacobs, who is the founder of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, former school superintendent Lori White, and also Matt Walsh of the Observer Media Group. And I am happy to be the master of ceremonies again for the 5th year in a row.
Should be fun.
It is so interesting to pick the brains of these wonderful people from different walks of life in our society.
All three embody wit and wisdom, so it should be a fun time.
Yes, they do. That's right.
Should be a good day. We have some very pleasant weather for you today, I think. A lot of sunshine in store for you. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance, but a little on the humid side, maybe.
All right.
Talk about that and talk about the weekend weather as well. Not too early for that.
All right. Also still ahead, first alert traffic and a look into the contentious Alabama election and a new write-in candidate that's now making headlines. And later in the hour, a possible government shutdown on Capitol Hill. We'll tell you when and why.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
A lot of churches are anti-gun. A lot of churches are anti-security. The whole thing is they say, well, we're in a church, God's going to protect us. God sent me there to help protect you.
After 2 mass shootings the past couple of months, places of worship are tightening up security. Does it make folks safer or does it put more people on edge? I'm Alan Cohn. We reflect at the traffic.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we've got the second morning in a row where we're seeing the morning temperatures a little bit warmer. And that was true yesterday. Today it's even more so because 68-degree air temperature is well above average. We have a dew point value also on the rise, coming in at 67 degrees. That 67-degree dew point is, while still okay, still comfortable, it's starting to get pretty close to that 70-degree mark where most people are going to say, it's getting a little humid. So we're kind of in an area here, a gray area, where some of you will think it's too humid and some of you will think it's just right. But the point is, by afternoon, when the daytime temperatures start to rise and you factor in those warmer dew points, I think most people are going to say it feels a little muggy out there. Humidity now at 96%. We have a east-northeast wind coming in at about 8, continuing to kind of fuel the humidity fires, if you will, by transporting moisture from the other coast. 67 Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, Lakewood Ranch, Northport, 66 in Parrish and Bradenton. And we got some 68s popular along the coastlines from Sarasota down to Inglewood, Longboat Key coming in at 69. And then Northport coming in at 67 and Punta Gorda coming in at 66. Not much in the way of cloud cover across the region except in the southern tip of the state where there is a lot more moisture around, where there is the kind of leftover lift in the atmosphere that is provided by this little trough of low pressure that still exists flowed through the Florida Straits. In the process of kind of falling apart, yes, but still providing enough instability in the atmosphere to trigger off showers and thunderstorms even this morning. Plus, a high-pressure ridge at the surface just hasn't moved a whole lot, and what that's doing is providing us with this easterly wind flow again today, or east-northeast wind flow. Over time, I think that wind will start to maybe turn a little bit more to the north slightly, and then we'll watch a frontal boundary kind of approach and fall apart, helping to push the high-pressure ridge a little bit further to the north. I think all of those things adding together may help reduce the humidity a little bit as we head into Friday. But then by Friday, another frontal boundary located still well back to the west will approach our area, and that one will, in fact, bring some lower humidity air in time for the weekend. But for today, this easterly wind flow will continue and will continue to pump moisture in from the Atlantic. A few scattered showers over on the other coast, certainly possible. Not completely out of the question that one or two of those showers would make it over to the interior sections of the Suncoast, Hardy, DeSoto, Inland, Charlotte. All possibility, but not very likely. Warm today, higher humidity, but still dry for most of us here on the Suncoast. And that'll be the case, I think, really straight through the next 7 days. We are in this dry, warm patch, and I don't see that changing a whole lot. A few scattered showers here and there across the country, but really everything is looking pretty quiet and pretty tame. If you're traveling today, there should be no weather worries whatsoever. In fact, most of the nation has got a little bit of a warm streak going on. Northeast wind coming in at about 5 to 10, and you will look for a moderate chop on your bay and inland waters. Extended range forecast looks good. Temperatures in the low 80s for the next several days. Then that front limps through on Friday. You'll hardly notice it, with the exception that it'll cut humidity and drop temperatures a degree or two for the weekend. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. Early morning car crash already this morning on 14th Street West. Let's click on that and find out exactly what's going on there. Perhaps we'll find out some more information if we click on that icon or not. We'll check that next half hour. Let's check farther south now into Sarasota County, and we'll see how that's faring right now. And also, while we're looking at that, State Road 64 in the westbound lane, some slowdowns there near the Braden River, so be aware of that as well. 5:18 right now on your Wednesday morning. Back to the news now. The election to fill an Alabama Senate seat is about 2 weeks away now. President Trump is shifting the focus from Judge Roy Moore, who's accused of sexual misconduct, to Doug Jones, the Democratic opponent. CNN's Alex Marquardt explains.
In what has turned into a grueling, high-stakes race, the president has made clear he prefers the prospect of an accused child abuser in the Senate than a Democrat like Doug Jones.
I can tell you one thing for sure. We don't need a liberal person in there, a Democrat. Jones, I've looked at his record. It's terrible in crime. It's terrible in the border. It's terrible in the military.
Trump has emphasized that Moore has denied all of the accusations, but those views are repeated by supporters of Roy Moore, like conservative activist Ann Eubank.
Conservatives do not believe in open borders, and conservatives believe that a child's life is more important than a woman's choice.
Today, Jones defended those accusations. How do you respond to the president and to Roy Moore and his supporters who say that you are terrible on crime, terrible on immigration?
Well, I tell people to look at my record and see what I've done. You know, as a former assistant U.S. attorney, a former U.S. attorney, we've prosecuted tons of people. Look at my record. Don't just listen to a tweet. Don't just listen to somebody make a statement.
When it comes to crime, Jones made his name as a U.S. attorney, prosecuting one of the most tragic attacks in Alabama history. The bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in 1963 that left 4 young girls dead. 2 members of the Ku Klux Klan were convicted. Jones is more conservative than many Democrats in Washington, but for Alabama, he's about as left as they come, under fire from many Alabamians for his views on abortion.
I am a firm believer that a woman should have the freedom to choose what happens to her own body, and I'm going to stand up for that.
More supporters jumped on Jones for saying he wouldn't back legislation banning abortions after 20 weeks, later walking it back, saying late-term abortions should only be for medical emergencies. On immigration, he has criticized the president's plan for a wall on the Mexican border and has supported the so-called DACA program for the children of undocumented immigrants. He calls himself a Second Amendment guy, but has called for more stringent background checks for gun buyers, all positions that Trump and Moore have seized on, and which columnist John Archibald says Jones hasn't done well in communicating to potential voters.
I don't think he's really done a good job of coming out and saying this is what I stand for in a way that the people of Alabama, as a majority, can understand. But clearly I think what he believes and his campaign believes he needs to do is sit back and hope that Roy Moore implodes. I think as we get closer to Election Day, that's probably not going to be enough.
Meantime, a retired Marine colonel is jumping into Alabama's hotly contested race as a write-in candidate. Lee Busby spent 31 years in the Marine Corps. In fact, he was also Vice Chief of Staff to the then General John Kelly, who is now the White House Chief of Staff. Busby believes that neither Moore or Jones are qualified to be in the U.S. Senate.
I simply was not happy with my choices. And had I thought that was simply a personal issue, I certainly wouldn't have gone to this extreme. But the more people I talked to, the more convinced I became that that feeling is widespread here in Alabama.
Busby will run as a Republican. The election is December 12th. 5:22 right now. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. 73 million American jobs may be obsolete over the next decade. We'll tell you which ones.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke is a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Good kisses.
You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Look for WWSB or My Suncoast and update the app. We have updated it, and it'll go breaking news right to your phone. 5:25 right now. A new report is showing the staggering number of jobs that robots are filling. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, automation taking jobs.
A new report claims automation will make 73 million American jobs obsolete over the next decade, thanks to everything from robots to self-driving cars. Experts say maintaining full employment will require a major overhaul of the economy. Macintosh users with the High Sierra operating system may be at high risk. A security flaw in the system allows anyone to log in, even without a password.
Well, the bug was made public on Twitter by a Turkish developer. Apple says it's working on a software update to fix the problem. But the Apple guys were once hackers themselves.
Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs developed the Blue Box in 1972 when Wozniak was in college and Jobs was a high schooler. The device let them make long-distance phone calls for free.
It's expected to get $30,000 to $50,000 at auction. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Quaker Oatmeal.
Oats seem pretty simple, right? They're actually kind of extraordinary. See, oats contain a soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Beta what? Stay with me here. This is where it gets interesting. This fiber really doesn't like cholesterol, so it traps some of the bad cholesterol and shows it a thing or two, making Quaker Oats a delicious part of a heart-healthy diet. High five, fiber.
Cleaning floors with a mop and bucket is a hassle, meaning you probably don't clean as often as you'd like. For a quick and convenient clean, try Swiffer WetJet. There's no heavy bucket or mop to wring out because the Absorb and Lock technology traps dirt and liquid inside the pad. It's safe to use on all finished surfaces, tile, laminate, and hardwood, and it prevents streaks and hazing better than a microfiber strip mop, giving you a thorough clean the first time. For a convenient clean, try Swiffer WetJet with a money-back guarantee. Bren Power, helping you buy better.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Do you have type 2 diabetes, which requires daily blood monitoring? If you have diabetes, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for diabetic testing supplies at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. Our accredited staff will handle all of your paperwork for free. And best of all, your diabetic testing supplies are shipped directly to your home for free. Call now to see if you qualify for a meter upgrade and a free pedometer to monitor your daily walking. Use alternate testing sites, a smaller blood sample, and even hear your results out loud. Will you qualify for diabetic testing supplies and an upgraded meter covered by Medicare, Obamacare, or health insurance at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you?
Find out for free by calling the Diabetes Resource Center at 1-800-394-1098. That's 1-800-394-1098, 1-800-394-1098.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, tax reform gets the votes on Capitol Hill while the government heads toward a possible shutdown. Mixed reactions to a 10-year plan on the future of Venice. We'll have both sides. And how much do you plan to spend this holiday season? We'll break it down by genders this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, 29th day of the month. I'm Ray Collins. December starts on Friday. Glad you're with us. John Scalzi says a little milder out there this morning, John.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? If you take a look at what the temperature change is between right now and 24 hours ago, and then look at what the temperature change was 24 hours ago compared to the day before that, over the last 2 days, we have risen almost 20 degrees in our morning low temperature. Yeah, I mean, it's a real warming streak that has taken place. Right now, we're running around 5 to 6 degrees above where we were 24 hours ago, with Mark in Palmetto reporting 65. Richard in Northport reporting 64. I mean, normally we'd be in the 50s, easily in the 50s at this time of morning, this time of year. A little bit of cloud cover around, yes, but nothing producing too much rainfall for us. There are some showers over on the other coast, though. That has been kind of a persistent thing for them over the course of the last probably week or so now. And that is because of the easterly wind flow that they have, and that's bringing in some moisture from the Atlantic. In fact, it's bringing it all the way into our area without the rain showers. It is raising humidity and making it feel, I think today, a little bit humid, I guess we'd say, in the afternoon. Not summertime humid, but humid for this time of year. Daytime highs topping out warm, again, in the low 80s. We'll have that complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon, John. We've learned more now about that issue on 14th Street West in Bradenton, the accident there at 30th Avenue. So be aware of that. Perhaps you can take 26th to the left or 301 to the right on that one. Farther south, pretty clear right now in northern Sarasota County. And then farther south, we'll check the final map and see a couple blips there. Nothing major to report at 5:32 on your Wednesday morning. Our top story, plans for tax reform cleared a crucial hurdle on Capitol Hill. This as the clock is ticking toward a government shutdown.
Today, President Trump is on the move, headed to Missouri to sell tax reform to the American people. The president on Capitol Hill yesterday to rally Senate Republicans. Their tax plan cleared a major hurdle. The Budget Committee signed off, sending the bill to the full Senate for a possible vote tomorrow over the shouts of protesters. Analysts say those earning more than $100,000 a year would likely see big tax cuts. But within 10 years, most Americans earning less than $75,000 a year estimated to pay more.
If this bill works the way I think, all these loud people will have proven to be loud, and I will have proven to be right. If it doesn't do what I think it will do, then we will lose.
Tax reform a priority, but a more immediate deadline, funding the government by next Friday or face a shutdown. President Trump needs to strike a deal with the Democrats. But right before his meeting with leaders Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, the president tweeted, blasting them, saying he doesn't see a deal.
The president said, I don't see a deal, 3 hours before our meeting, before he heard anything we had to say.
Schumer and Pelosi skipped the White House meeting.
They decided not to show up. They've been all talk and they've been no action. And now it's even worse. Now it's not even talk.
The president and Republicans are in control, but he says he'll blame the Democrats if the government shuts down. Sticking points: defense spending, legal status for Dreamers, and funding for the president's border wall. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Meantime, President Trump is winning the battle in the fight over who has the legal right to lead the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It was put in place after the financial collapse of so many Americans. A judge now ruled in favor of the president to put Mick Mulvaney in charge after the former director, Richard Cordray, resigned and the deputy director took over. Now, that deputy director, Leandra English, is now suing, challenging the president's authority and saying that Congress should name a successor, not him. This as Mulvaney is now tweeting pictures of himself hard at work while also keeping his job as the director of the Office of Management and Budget. A Texas family that lost 8 members in the Sutherland Springs church shooting has now filed a wrongful death claim against the U.S. military. The claim asserts that the Air Force's negligence helped the gunman acquire his weapons. Joe and Clarice Holcomb allege the Air Force should have reported gunman Devin Kelly's domestic violence conviction to a federal agency. That would have stopped him from legally purchasing firearms. Kelly killed 25 people and an unborn child earlier this month at the congregation at the First Baptist Church. It is unclear what financial compensation the Holcomb family is requesting. Donations poured in from across the country after the October concert shooting in Las Vegas. Now some victims are asking for changes to how funds will be distributed. They held a meeting with the committee in charge of the funds. People who were taken to the hospital and relatives of those who were killed are expected to get a share of donations. Now, committee members says they won't be able to help everybody, though.
We're going to have to say no to some people. We're not going to be able to help everybody financially.
The Victims Fund is still accepting donations at nationalcompassionfund.org. Tiger Woods says he is now on the other side of relying on pain medication to cope with an ailing back now that he's loving life. Woods is returning to competition this week in the Bahamas. It's his first time playing since fusion surgery on his back last April. Woods reached a low point on Memorial Day when he was arrested on a DUI charge after police found his car parked on the side of the road and he was asleep at the wheel. Toxicology reports revealed he had 2 painkillers, a sleep drug, and the active ingredient for marijuana in his system. Back in this area, Florida's House Speaker wants to know more about the public funding at Nathan Benderson Park. Richard Corcoran is asking for a closer look at the economic impact of the park and how state money has been spent there. But despite the call for detailed accounting from the Speaker, the executive director of the World Rowing Championship says the event was a huge success.
I think Commissioner Hines said it perfectly today when he said, don't talk negatively unless if you were there. And if you come and experience it, if you had actually experienced it, you probably wouldn't be saying anything negative.
I don't often agree with Speaker Corcoran, but on this one I will agree with him. When we're talking about government money spent for an event, there has to be accountability and transparency, and we're going to see that that happens.
World Rowing officials say the event generated $9 million to both Sarasota and Manatee counties. The city of Venice has locked in its 10-year comprehensive plan. The plan outlines the growth plan, specifically how many new homes are allowed to be built and how much of the city can be built on. It's a guide for what the city wants to look like over the next 10 years, but not everybody is pleased.
And I don't see anything redeeming in there. They've taken out a couple dozen of the policies that, when you read them, are all the things you would want, not what developers would want.
Now, supporters of the plan say it's a good vision for the city and that it outlines a positive way forward for the next 10 years. And finally, when it comes to holiday spending, Florida is near the top. Floridians spend an average of $850, second only to Texans, who spend $900 on gifts. The survey also shows women spend $700 while men spend about $400. Women also expect their significant others to spend at least $250, but men only expect to spend around $90. I got to tell you, the holidays are a stressful time when it comes to shopping.
I think a lot of people agree with you with that.
You know what?
I think that's why online shopping has taken off so well, because you can do it, in the comfort of your home and your PJs and with a cup of hot coffee and just, shop away.
Because I admit I'm tough to buy for. If I want something, I'll go get it. So what do you buy me? And then how do you buy something for others?
Nothing, in case you're wondering.
Oh, not even an ugly sweater?
No, sorry.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's no, I'm kidding. It's a very stressful time for a lot of people, and I think Florida probably tops out as one of the best spending states because of the weather. You know, people can get out there almost any time. You don't have snowstorms that limit your spending.
Oh, yeah.
Anything like that. You know, you're just out there and enjoying it. Then I'll tell you, some of the decorations in Florida can't be beat. Some of the malls are just really decked out.
I know.
Great.
They take it seriously.
They do indeed.
Yes.
Got some nice weather shaping up for you this weekend as well if you want to get out there and do a little holiday shopping. We'll talk all about that in a few.
Also ahead, first alert traffic, and this Oklahoma teenager hopes to raise money for a cancer-stricken mother. We'll tell you how on Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Fact: the top 3 Marriott hotels in North and South America are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, according to a recent survey of 363 Marriott hotels. The Marriott at Grand National, the Marriott Shoals Hotel, and the Grand Hotel. And 2 of the top 3 Renaissance hotels are also on the trail: Ross Bridge in Birmingham and the Battle House in Mobile. Southern hospitality still rules. For reservations or information, visit rtjgolf.com/resorts.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Serving part-time as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment to get an edge in the civilian world. Learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you at NationalGuard.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
68 degrees our air temperature. We have a dew point value coming in at 67. So temperature and dew point are pretty close together. That means the humidity is high, and you can feel it. As you walk out the door, you will notice that it's a little bit different feel to the air today than it was 24 hours ago. First, it's warmer, and second, the humidity is higher and will be throughout the day today. By afternoon, when we start to raise our temperatures up to near 80, Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to say, whoa, what happened to fall here? Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to be humid for another couple of days before we get a front through here to slice away some of this humidity, but that will be in time for the weekend. Northeast wind coming in at about 8 across the state. Temperatures are running pretty warm. Even in Tallahassee, 54 degrees, where it's normally much, much cooler. Panama City coming in at 58, Jacksonville at 58. You get a little closer to the center part of the state, and you're at 68 degrees in Orlando, Fort Myers, Naples at 69, and then you hit the 70s as you get further to the south, where the humidity is really high. And in fact, there's even some ongoing shower and thunderstorm activity down around the Miami area, where they're in the 70s. 66, Mayaca City, Northport at 66, Venice at 68, so Sarasota, Bradenton at 69, and taking a look at some of your neighborhood temperatures, they're pretty much the same, coming in the upper 60s to near 70 most everywhere. Don't see any 50s anywhere, even in inland areas this morning. We have across the region a little bit of high thin clouds from time to time, kind of blow off again from these showers that are located down to the south and back to the west. Those showers not in the cards for us today. We stay dry. We stay above average in our daytime high temperatures for the next couple of days. Very much a La Nina situation here that we're seeing across the state of Florida, and one that was well predicted by the Climate Center when they came out with their longer range forecasts. A warm and dry winter period for us. The next couple of months will probably be the same, warm and dry. And that's really not going to change, it doesn't look like. Maybe a little brief cool down as we head into December, but certainly until then, high pressure will be the dominant weather feature, providing us with this east wind, and we stay on the warm side of average. Front number 1 back to the west will approach us, but that kind of just falls apart after leading to a few scattered showers and thunderstorms around the Kansas City area today, and a few scattered showers and maybe a snow shower or two in upstate New York. Then back to the west, front number 2 starts to advance in this direction. That's the one that'll be through here on Friday. That may slice our temperatures a little bit and lower the humidity a little bit, but by the time it gets here, it will be in a much modified form, so it won't contain a lot of cool air. That's not the one that's going to do it for us. Easterly wind flow brings a few scattered showers over to the other coast. We stay warm, we stay humid, and we stay dry all day today. Across the nation, pretty quiet. If you're traveling today, the weather conditions look great almost everywhere across the country in terms of travel weather. Down in Miami, you may see a few scattered showers there. If you're taking a smaller plane, there may be some issues with VFR conditions. Otherwise, the futurecast shows pretty nice weather with a few fair weather clouds moving in from the other coast. Occasionally a shower might try to make it across the peninsula, but kind of fall apart as it does so. Otherwise, if you are traveling to the other coast for the remainder of the work week, you expect to see some scattered showers, especially from about Fort Pierce down south through Miami and into the Florida Keys. Otherwise, things look good for us. The boating forecast calls for a northeast wind at about 5 to 10. And the first alert weather forecast calls for a daytime high that tops out in the low 80s, followed by some slightly cooler, drier weather as we head into the weekend when that front comes through. That'll be through here by early Saturday morning. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, John. Checking the roads, still an accident there on 14th Street West at 30th Avenue, so you might want to avoid that section for now until that clears up. Farther south now in the northern half of Sarasota County, nothing major. Look at Clark Road, some issues there in the westbound lane around Honore, otherwise pretty clear. And South County all clear at 5:47 on your Wednesday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, a cancer patient in Oklahoma is struggling to pay her bills while she undergoes her treatment. But her 16-year-old daughter is trying to help by using her baking skills. Katie Wisely has the story from Tulsa.
Baking is good for the soul.
I bring some of the chocolate ice on the table.
The smell of a fresh cupcake brings a smile to Tyler McLean's face.
I know what people like.
She's made more than 500 since March.
This is Oreo, pretzel M&M. Just that's some off right there that I've already made.
Advertising on Facebook.
And I came home one day and was like, Mom, I want to start a cupcake business. What do you think about that?
It's all to help her mom, Talisha, who was diagnosed with breast cancer in March.
I want to put it somewhere that it's noticeable. I love my mom.
The 16-year-old's mom, unable to work.
How am I going to even go to the store to buy basic things like dish soap or washing powder or toilet paper or food?
Forced to make tough decisions.
I had to move out of my home was in a small apartment, not going from a 3-bedroom home because I couldn't afford it.
The cupcake business, the family's only income.
Well, the cupcakes are $2 each, so I would say a couple thousand, maybe $2,000.
Mayor G.T. Bynum's office heard and purchased some delicious treats.
And he told me how at his age he wasn't doing what I was doing, you know, so telling me that I should continue to keep doing what I'm doing.
November 30th, the mother of 3 will go under for the 3rd time.
Breast cancer is not a joke. Now that I know somebody that went through it, it's not a joke.
Doctors say she can't go back to work until January, so Tyler will continue to bake.
I always got my mom's back.
And may make a future out of it.
She's saying she wants to go to culinary art school.
I love it being different.
Forever grateful her mom is still alive. In Tulsa, Katie Wisely, 2 Works for You.
If you have a tough time falling asleep and staying asleep, you're not alone. About 50 to 70 million Americans suffer from a sleep and wakefulness disorder. The Center for Disease Control suggests 7 or more hours of sleep. If you don't, it could affect your overall health. Here are some things you can do to improve your sleep. Go to bed at the same time each day and get up at the same time each morning. Make your bedroom cozy, quiet, and dark. Turn the smartphones off and the TVs off. If you need a little white noise, try a fan, and also avoid caffeine before bedtime. Still ahead, we'll update the day's top local news headlines, and this man lost over $700 during an Uber trip. We'll tell you how he got it back after this.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously, but she knows how to have fun too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile, and in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599. 800-570-7599.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004.
Headlines now on the Sun Coast this morning. Police in Tampa arrested a suspect in the string of killings in Seminole Heights. A tip led them to a McDonald's where they arrested this man, Howell Donaldson. His criminal record includes a few traffic citations. Manatee County commissioners are moving forward now with buying the premier sports campus in Lakewood Ranch. Part of the $5 million purchase would involve tourist tax dollars. And Saturday is the annual holiday parade. Main Street in downtown Sarasota, a number of streets will be closed around parade time Saturday evening. And finally, we've probably all had that moment of dread when you think you've lost your wallet. A Houston man felt that and then some. Rogelio Garcia lost more than $700 in cash plus an expensive money clip. He realized it must have vanished in his Uber trip hours earlier. Well, he turned to the app to report it, and he was connected to the driver. The driver had recovered the money and was searching for the owner, but couldn't pinpoint which passenger had lost it. The drivers also can't contact former passengers, so he was relieved when Rogelio called. And when Rogelio was given back his money, he gave the driver a $100 tip. That is a moment of dread indeed. You know what? You lose your money and you lose your wallet.
Yeah, it really is. You know?
Yeah.
I don't carry cash much anymore.
No, I don't try to either. But I left my cell phone once in a taxi in a new city, San Francisco. I couldn't breathe for half an hour until it was returned. Luckily, I got it back.
Now you can track your cell phones, which is a big help.
But if you don't have your cell phone, how can you track it?
Well, you can do it from
somebody else's?
Any internet device.
Oh, go to the computer and punch it up.
Now, if they could do that with your car keys, that would be a very beautiful thing.
I know.
I would be a very happy man about that.
That'll be next as well.
We have across the region very warm, muggy conditions out there, well above average for this time of year, and I think the afternoon is going to be kind of sticky. We'll detail that forecast in a few.
So it's 20 degrees warmer now than 2 days ago?
Right.
That's amazing.
Morning, yeah.
All right, there you go. T-shirt weather. More local news after this, folks. Stay with us.